Well, in conversation with former KZN head of the Hawks, Major General Johan Booysen, and hopefully we have you back there, General Booysen. Thanks for speaking to us once more here on Morning Live. So we were talking about the Cato Manor death squad, and I was talking about how the former deputy NDPP actually said that she felt she was within her rights to actually bring you to book on that particular matter. So talk to us, what actually happened with the Cato Manor death squad?
Well, it is evidence from the court judge by Judge Durban at the time when I took the decision to prosecute me on review that judge felt that there was no evidence that we of any for that matter.
I have to apologize for the sound quality because that signal breaking now and not quite able to hear you. If you could just perhaps try and repeat that to us, Major General.
Yes, at the time when Advocate, the acting National Director of Public Prosecutions, Mmamonnye decided to prosecute me for racketeering, I took a decision on review in the High Court in Durban. And the presiding judge held that there was absolutely no evidence linking it to the commission of any offence at the time.
But what was the story against the Cato Manor death squad? Because she contended, and I fully understand what you're saying, I get that those racketeering charges were withdrawn. But one of the things she said was that, this was Mmamonnye at the time, she said that there was no way that you, as one of the senior police officers in the province, did not know what was going on there. So can you take us in your confidence and tell us what was the story around the Cato Manor death squad?
Well, to start off with, her statement was pure conjecture. With regards to Cato Manor, and I've said it over and over again, each and every shooting that they had been involved in, I personally ensured that the then ICD, the Independent Complaints Directorate, who investigate police offences, that they are informed that they actually investigate the matter. Each and every of those shootings were investigated or attended by an independent police duty officer. It's not incumbent upon myself to investigate those cases, because if I'd done so, in all probability would have been accused of interfering with investigations. So I did what I had to do in terms of reporting each and every incident to the ICD at the time. Through my chain of command, every shooting incident was reported to my superiors. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm in the clear, and I did what I had to do.
So with regard to those who were implicated, were they prosecuted?
No, not at all. Recall, we were all prosecuted together, and last year in July, the new National Director of Public Prosecutions, Advocate Shamila had the matter reviewed by 4 senior advocates from our own office, and in the comprehensive report, which has now subsequently been published in the media, it is clear that prosecutors connived and lied to have me prosecuted. They lied in the prosecution memorandum to the then head of the National Prosecuting Authority, Shaun Abrams. And I'm now referring to Advocate Mmamonnye Ngobeni and Advocate Gladstone Mahima. I've opened criminal cases against them because they committed fraud and defeated the ends of justice by lying, fabricating evidence in a prosecution memorandum to convince Shaun Abrams to prosecute us for racketeering.
And I guess I'm asking a slightly different question, General Booysen, in that this Cato Manor death squad that we talk about, did it exist? Did the police go rogue and kill people? And was anybody held responsible for that?
Well, that is the impression that the 2 journalists at the Sunday Times at the time tried to create. I'm referring to Stefan Hofstadter and Ziwa Africa. They were in cahoots with elements that we were investigating, and they fabricated stories that never existed. And that's where this whole investigation started. I've said it and I've said it repeatedly. As far as I know, no offences were committed. If any offences were committed, I would have personally ensured that those people were prosecuted. As a matter of fact, I have personally arrested members of Cato Manor previously and prosecuted them at least 2 occasions.
Very serious allegations against senior journalists there, Stefan Hofstadter and Mziwa Africa. And do you have any evidence to back up your allegation now that they actually fabricated this and were in cahoots with some other elements?
Well, the mere fact that the current editor of the Sunday Times, Matthew Sikoko, had done his own investigation and concluded that, in his own words, they had it all wrong. They apologized to me in the editorial column and allowed me to write a full page in the Sunday Times where I clearly debunked the narrative produced by Hofstadter and Africa.
But, getting it wrong is one thing, and for the editor to say they got it wrong is quite one thing as compared to you making the allegation that they were actually in cahoots with certain segments involved in the story.
As I've said on my book, Blood on Their Hands, there's evidence, and when I took the Sunday Times to the press, can you still hear me?
I can still hear you, yes.
Yeah, when I took the Sunday Times to the press ombudsman, the Sunday Times at the time, that's now before Matthew Sikoko took over, quite a lot of background. When I took them to the press ombudsman, the information came from a person by the name of N.H. Singh, who at the time happened to be part of crime intelligence. Unfortunately, he passed on in the meantime. But N.H. Singh was a person who compiled the now debunked ground coverage document wherein I'm other people, the other politicians, in the illegal killing of people.
Well, we are going to have to leave it there. Thanks for your time this morning, and apologies for the connection that was poor at times. We have to leave it there, unfortunately, thanks to the former KZN head of Hawks, Johan Booysen, reflecting on his investigation into that 2010 FIFA World Cup fraud and corruption case involving businessman Toshan Pandey and former KZN Police Commissioner Mmamonnye Ngobeni, and appearing, of course, the commissioner before the court yesterday, among others. And this is an ongoing case, and no doubt we will follow it. Let's bring you the latest news now with Leanne.